Morning, everybody. Wilfie here in the delightful wobble car o-matic. Wobblomatic, let's call it that. Car needs new tires. They're getting to the point where it's a tiny bit wobbly when I drive, so I gotta get that taken care of soon. And I also have an energy drink to drink, and I'm going to do that in a couple of minutes. So you get to enjoy some product placement. But no, I hopefully have a fairly quick rant today. Actually, screw that. I got a couple topics I want to talk about, so maybe not. This will be another drive to work, talk to self while bored type video. So yeah, if you don't like these, you're always free to skip, because I can't afford the goddamn mercenaries yet to go to everyone's houses and make them watch these videos at gunpoint. It's really pissing me off. You guys aren't donating to my Patreon enough. Why won't you enable me to force you to watch my videos? Enough of that crap. Two random things I wanted to talk about. The first was this amusing video, a news article. Hello, jogger. Sorry, I'm distracted by creatures wearing spandex running. Boingy, boingy, boingy. Okay, sorry. A news article that featured a video about some woman who didn't actually get thrown off the flight, but nearly got thrown off a flight. I think it was United Airlines. It doesn't really matter. Because of her attire. Now, there's a photo and video of what she was wearing. And, it's one of those, if you ever played Mortal Kombat 3, there was a couple characters that had, like, this lace-up thing that went right kind of down their belly. Showed off some skin. Everything was covered, but there was just, a bit of chest flesh, I suppose, right down to the midriff. Not tastefully exposed, but exposed. But, there's no nipple, there's no boob shape or really anything like that. It was all pressed close to the chest, so certainly tacky, but not actually showing off the boobs or vag. So obviously the airline overreacted. And they did eventually relent and decide, okay, we'll allow your skank ass to fly. But still, it's kind of a retarded overreaction. As long as the naughty bits, so-called naughty bits, are covered up, you shouldn't really care how a person's dressed. In modern aviation, anyway. They're just buses that fly. So it's not like we should expect high class out of people who fly on airplanes, because it's cheap and accessible to the masses. What gets me, though, and for any feminists foolish enough to actually watch my stuff, brace yourselves, because we're about to dive into some victim blaming here. One of the comments she made to the newspaper or the whatever outlet, because of course this is all about her, and she was whiny and bitchy about how, oh my god, I felt discriminated against. It's like everyone was staring at me. That line kind of jumped out at me because, given what she was wearing, that was exactly the point. And given that she's like her stated line of business is staffing and event planning, she's used to being in the limelight, and it's the sort of thing that she thrives on. So I thought that was kind of funny. This goes back to the classic, asking a rape victim at the trial to explain why she was wearing a short skirt and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's victim blaming. Well, not really. Nothing bad actually happened. She just got some attention, and that's the whole point of wearing what she was wearing. So I always find that little bit of hypocrisy kind of funny. And sadly, the reporter didn't touch on that topic. And I really think they should have. Like, well, why did you dress like this in the first place? You're on an airplane. You're not you're not really supposed to be putting on a show, but here you are. This isn't where you network. If you're a hooker, it's not where you work. So what gives? And the funny thing is, she did this in Denver, Colorado, in the middle of January. I don't know if you know this, but it's really fucking cold in Colorado in January. And here she is wearing this skimpy outfit and strolling onto an airplane with it. So anyway, I thought that was funny. Let's all point and laugh at the silly person. The other topic to talk about, and this is the fun one because it could kill us all. We have our friend, the coronavirus. Currently having a heyday over in China and spreading with flourish and enthusiasm across the civilized world. And that'll be nice and fun if it ever, well, it is here probably. But yes, it's going to be fun and exciting when it finally rears its head in civilized parts of the world and starts causing problems. So far, the death toll is pretty low, figuratively, or comparatively. And it doesn't, so far, look like we have a Captain Trips situation where it's just get one cough and suddenly you're dead. It looks like, from what I saw most recently, that the fatality rate is like 1.5% to 2%. And it does spread from person to person through fluid exchange so far. It doesn't seem to be airborne yet, but that could change. But it can be communicated now even before a carrier shows symptoms. So that's a pisser. That means this thing's been out in the wild for a few weeks, and any efforts to quarantine at this point are kind of silly because it's out there. You can be sick for a couple weeks and not notice, and so you're not taking any precautions, wearing masks or anything. So this thing is probably spread far and wide. There is good news, though. It has a low fatality rate, or mortality rate. So odds are, even if you catch it, and even if it makes you sick, it's not going to kill you. And better, there's already a vaccine, thanks to some brilliant people over in Hong Kong. So a vaccine's not a cure, but a vaccine exists at least. So it's not production ready, but they're getting there. So eventually there will be a vaccine available for just public consumption against this stupid thing. So there's hope. So don't panic. You shouldn't panic. That's kind of the big takeaway from, hopefully, the takeaway from this video. Obviously, I'm not an authority. Please don't listen to me for official news or anything like that. This is all just opinion. But it's funny to watch this whole thing unfold over social media. Had an interesting take in response to something I posted on Kiwi Farms yesterday. There are some people really married to social media as the savior of mankind, and that really cracks me up because it's mostly a source of social unrest, angry outrage mobs. You know, if you want to get somebody fired, social media is a great way to do it. But the response to that comment was that, well, you can't trust governments for truth, so you might as well trust social media, because videos and photographs never lie. That's a bit of a naive position too, but there's some merit to what that person is saying, that the government, or various governments of the world, can't, so they claim, strictly stop the spread of information. You know, videos of government agents doing bad things, or photographs of unseemly situations, that sort of thing. from spreading far and wide. Now, of course, that's completely untrue. If things get bad enough, the Chinese government can very easily say, no, fuck you. All social media in this country is disabled now. I think TikTok and a couple others are actually owned and operated by Chinese companies in China. Well, boom, we can shut that down fast. And the same thing in the United States. If we really wanted to, if our government really wanted to, it could just stroll into Twitter's offices and say, so national emergency, martial law, turn your shit off now. And that's the end of it. The people act like we have this near instant communication with people around the world, and these platforms are impervious and they can't be stopped, they can't be damaged or taken away from us. Like, oh, yeah, they can. So all the good bits of social media, being able to communicate quickly and spread news and information, that's all well and good. But of course, it can also be used for disinformation. And I'm not saying you should shut it down because of that, or even really try to combat it, except with maybe the truth. But this person really got offended at the idea that I was suggesting that you could lie on social media. And, they turned it around and said, government never lies. Let's just shut all this down and let the government tell us what to think. Like, you fucking idiot. Not what I meant in the slightest, but that's okay. He had his bone, he wanted to run with it, so whatever. But no, as far as this virus goes, it's funny to watch people. I think the most amazing reaction I've seen to it is Canada, which, as always, loves to demonstrate how woke and stupid it is. Some parents, rightfully, signed a petition to some school district or something like that, demanding that kids be kept safe. Start kids wearing masks, especially people who have traveled from China recently. And the Canadian government's response was to call them racists and to stop making such suggestions because, that's very insulting and offensive to Chinese nationals. And I'm just sitting here dumbfounded at how fucking stupid that response is. It's like, my God, you potentially have a pandemic on your hands, and you're worried about appearances and perceived racism and that kind of stupidity. It's like, God damn, Canada, do something intelligent. Just once this decade. Come on. And the dumbest part about that is there's really no racist component to asking people who have recently visited China or come from China to, kind of wear masks. Because, they just came from China. Guess what's there? And it's not just Chinese people. It infects everybody. So everyone traveling recently from China should not be quarantined necessarily, but wear masks to prevent spreading anything they're carrying. And it doesn't matter what skin color it is. Yeah, you've got Chinese people, but you've got Europeans, you got white people, you got black people. Everybody goes to China because it's a fun place to go. So what the fuck? I don't know why Canada thinks suddenly that people are being racist. It's like, everyone can carry this thing. It's not just Chinese. But yeah, we should kind of think about what to do with people who have just come from the region where this started. Dumbasses. That just amazes me. That's what people are concerned about, instead of, maybe trying to contain a potentially lethal virus. Nah, let's make sure we don't seem racist or unwoke. And so, I'm not even joking. The Canadian government actually released or posted a page. This is on their virus information page. The thing that They're supposedly providing their citizens to help them understand the virus and the issues surrounding it. Literally lecturing them. There's a whole section lecturing them about stereotypes and discrimination. And you just see stuff like this and your jaw drops at how stupid it is. So I don't know, man. I guess Canada, or the Canadian government, just wants to make sure that Canada falls first. Although, let's be real, if this virus is actually nasty enough to start killing people in large swaths, it's going to be China that goes down first, since the outbreak kind of started there. And they've already got tens of thousands of admitted infections. And we know the Chinese government is, they're about on the level of the old Soviet Union government. They don't like admitting when something's gone wrong, so they're probably not being too honest about the real numbers. Oh, welcome to traffic. There's always traffic on this road. You'd think I'd have enough smarts to leave earlier for work. But instead, I guess I'll just stay late. It's okay. It's a fun job anyway. Bored as like. There was something else I wanted to say about this virus thing. Oh yeah, don't panic. At least not yet. As people wiser than me have pointed out, panicking and being afraid is one of the worst things you can do when something nasty hits when shit hits the fan. You want to be calm, cool, and collected. Make a plan. If you don't already have a stash of non-perishable food and water that can last you about a month, you should consider going out quietly and stocking up on non-perishable food. And make sure you buy stuff that you'll eat ordinarily, so that, if nothing comes of this, you can just eat the food you bought and go through it normally. When it comes to water, buy it in large jugs. Don't waste your time on those little bottles, because they're more expensive and don't carry as much water. Have a good first aid kit put together. There's good guides on how to prepare for stuff like this. You don't have to go completely kooky, like, these bug out bag style things. You just, make yourself comfortable. Maybe just get enough supplies to last you 30 days, just in case something happens. You lose power, or the food supply, like American logistics, your country's logistics get busted for a bit. Because the truth of it is, most cities these days don't have more than about 5 or 6 days worth of food supply for everyone that lives there. We live on very tight supply lines, because it's more efficient when things are running smoothly. When something gets disrupted, like a major interstate or freeway gets wrecked so that trucks can't come and go, that can really fuck with things. If air travel becomes impractical and you lose your roads, then suddenly you don't really have a way to get food into your region, and that can lead to some pretty bad scenarios where you've got roving bands of jerks with guns looking for supplies. So that's actually another unpleasant topic for some people, but you need to consider owning a firearm if you don't already have one, and get yourself a good stash of bullets and go practice a little bit, because you might need to defend yourself if things go south. It's probably not going to come to that, though, so rest easy, relax, take your time, and prepare yourselves. Just get prepared a little bit, just in case. But don't go over the top. Don't go buy a case of face masks. Don't go and don't order one of those stupid 1 year of food kits on Amazon. That's like $1,500 for what they claim to be 1 year's worth of food rations for, I think it's 4 people. You can do better for a lot less money, so don't buy one of those kits. Those are ridiculous. Don't go nuts and buy MREs because they may be good food and they may be convenient or at least decent, but they're ridiculously expensive for what they are. And it's different cuisine, processed and packaged differently. So you have no idea what that's going to do to your digestive system, in addition to whatever stress you're dealing with, if you ever have to actually eat one, because you need to. You know, there's no source of heat, no electricity, no running water, and oh my God, I'm hungry. I don't have any non-perishable food left. I better break into these MREs. Well, you're going to be stressed. You're already going to be eating a different diet than usual. That's going to give you the screaming shits, is what that's going to do. So think twice before you pick up a big stack of MREs. If you do, make sure you have tons and tons of water. Because, you know, if you get diarrhea, that you lose a lot of water that way. So make sure you can replenish. Anyway, I'm babbling. Mostly because traffic sucks and I've got nothing else to do. I suppose I should drink this completely, waha, an energy drink. Oh, hello. I should also pay attention to the road. I don't want to crash into this nice white Toyota Tacoma in front of me with random numbers on it. At least that's a work truck. You can tell because it actually has mud on it. Dirty stuff in the bed. It's actually being used. Instead of, those vanity trucks that cost $30,000 and always stay perfectly clean because the owner never ever uses it for actual truck-like work. Anyway, yeah. Nasty virus is nasty. Don't panic. We're not at the panic stage yet. Just go pick up some supplies. Don't go nuts. Maybe get a gun if you don't have one. Practice. Have some decent aim, talent, or handling skills. And just, I guess, wait for other news. It'll all be alright. It'll work out. Shit like this doesn't usually kill us. That's reassuring, isn't it? Yeah, it'll probably be okay. It normally does not kill us. We just drink vodka, we sit around, we play cards, we tell dirty jokes. We bash on machines with wrench to make it work when generator fails. We pour more vodka into a machine to keep it running. Generate power to boil the distillery and make more vodka. And for enough light to keep playing card games. Is no problem. I'll stop now. Enough babbling. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Sorry this one was really rambly, and I guess they all are, so I should stop apologizing. Have yourself... Oh, shit. Nice. You're not gonna... you dickheads. There was an accident. That's why traffic's so shitty. Ooh. Ew, that was a bad one, too. Anyway, right, I'm done now. Have a good day, everybody. And I've still got some live stream videos to upload from a couple weeks ago. So stay tuned for that. I'm probably not going to post last week's live stream because that was just shit. But yeah, I do have some videos to get caught up on from a couple weeks back. So those are coming soon. And then, of course, I'll be streaming this Sunday again. I'm going to go back to Shadow or Stalker Call of Pripyat, because that's some fun stuff. I want more. So, yeah, look forward to that. Thanks for listening, guys, and have yourselves a great day. Bye.